Hi. 2 months ago, my son Zane asked me a couple of questions about what it was like to be a humanitarian, and he wanted to ask me some more questions today. He has thought of these questions himself. There are only 3, so let's give it a go. Okay, darling, first question.
What does a humanitarian do?
What does a humanitarian do? I believe humanitarian puts people first and puts themselves second. And humanitarian helps people help themselves, sadly, in crisis. Some man-made and some natural. When I mean man-made, I mean like war. And when I mean natural, I mean like an earthquake. What I did, I was a nutritionist. And I measured children under 5, their height and their weight. So the children who could stand up, I measured their height. I took their weight on scales. And I worked out if they were malnourished or not. I did some health promotion, the way sometimes your school nurse comes in and gives you some information about healthy eating. But I did it with what it was like there. So I worked in Afghanistan and I worked in different countries in the continent of Africa, as we've talked about. And I've also worked in the Middle East. So depending on what foods were eaten locally or what was done traditionally, what things are done based on the country, that's what I did. You can also work on water. You can work with education. You can work with building, construction. So many different things can be done. Anything that you can think to rebuild a country, that's what a humanitarian does. But what I used to do is, and I still do, is I see the person before I see the poverty or the crisis or the situation that they're in. Okay, next question.
How do you communicate with the people in different countries?
How did I communicate with the people in different countries? Good question. Well, this is where I learned patience. I had to communicate through a translator. I did learn some languages, some little bit of languages of Arabic, of Dari, one word in Ethiopian, Amiseganari, which is thank you, and a little bit of Portuguese when I worked in Angola, but usually it was through a translator. So all my training to train the survey teams and nutrition technology, methodology and the questionnaire was all through a translator. And with the meetings, it was the main language was English. So in the team, it was the English working language. When I worked with ACTED, a French organization, it was French. So that was difficult sometimes because I don't speak much French, but I learned more. So I had a translator. So I became very patient and I had to simplify my training and my discussions based on that fact too. Last question.
Did you know anyone in your team?
Did I know anyone in my team? In one of the teams I did before I left. When I went to Afghanistan, I went to a training course for 1 week and I met a friend called Rachel. I had gone into Afghanistan first. She's from here, from Belfast. And then a week later she followed. So I knew Rachel. And then that was it. That's the only person I knew when I started. I met a couple of different friends in different countries and we moved around. Catherine, my friend from Donegal, we both worked in Afghanistan and Iraq together. And that's it, I believe. I heard of others as I moved different countries. But every time I went into a country, I had to make new friends. What's it like for you making new friends?
It's fine.
It's fine. He's 8. So when you're 26, 27, 31, 32, it's much more difficult to say, hello, my name is Una, can I be your friend? But I didn't know many people, but that is the life you befriend very, very quickly. So I'm going to let Zane pop his head in for 2 seconds and then back out again. This is my gorgeous boy, Zane. That's enough. I don't want him online too much. So those 3 questions, he honestly wrote them himself. He's going to leave now. He's had enough. So that's question time with Una by her son Zane. I hope you enjoyed those 3 questions. And like I said before, ask away. I'm happy to discuss my time to pass on my learning, to pass on my experiences, to pass on how amazing the human body is, how wonderful humanity is, and how different we all are. But how all we are exactly the same. We're all human. That's me. Storytelling Sunday today. Bye for now.